Good morning, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. Have you ever wondered how to be a giant like a G? Well, we've got Guru G. We're going to learn how to do a little plant medicine and how it's going to help us maybe defeat some burnout. It's time to wake up the Giants. Boom. Okay, it might not all be plant medicine, but it's going to be some ancient medicine.
Yeah, I think if we're doing plant medicine on here, then we got a different show. But
Hey, that could be fun. Hey, but you know what though? It's all ancient, so we're gonna learn all about it, no matter. So, good morning, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. I'm Ryan Morris, co-creator of Wake Up with Giants TV, a tribe of giants and 12 Journeys Coaching. Wrote a little book called A Journey of Riches: Living the Paradigm of Kindness, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm here with Mr. Nicholas T. Smith, the author of The Giants and the Smalls. You can see his poster in the background there too. Yeah, that bad boy. This
we'll get
came
it
out of
there.
the genius and the ether formed together and moved through Mr. Nicholas T. Smith, and that's the whole reason why we're here, to learn about ourselves, that we're always giant, and it's taken us on this wild journey that we're on here today, and helped us to be able to get our message out to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and so grateful for Nick for all that he does. Um, Nick, we've also got a website that's amazing. Usually have that queued up, ready to go. Do you mind sharing a
I
little bit
do.
about 12 Journeys Coaching?
That's my favorite part of all of this is the 12 journeys. So
Yeah.
we've been able to take clients through this program, and essentially what it does is it rewrites your operating system. So it doesn't scrap who you are as your identity, but it takes those parts that are no longer serving you or that are playing small and helps you to elevate those to a more adaptive and more of a giant mindset. So what we want to do is help you to reach your potential in those areas where you feel insignificant, small, unworthy. And the 12 journeys helps you to do that from the inside out. And so the first thing you'll see when you go to the website is our giant quiz. You can take that. It's completely free. It's AI based. So you'll answer 60 questions. It'll analyze where you're at currently, and that'll be the foundation for your journeys. And so as you see where you're at, now you can start to wake up to it. And that's where we've developed tools to really help you break free. So inside of our SG program, you'll have access to our AI tools. So we've got quite a few tools in there. The latest is this AI twin that I've developed that actually lets you interact with the 12 journeys with me 24/7 in 28 languages around the world. And so
Wow.
if you're struggling at 2 a.m., you can jump in and have a coaching conversation similar to what it would be like to sit with me in conversation or Ryan in conversation, which is powerful. We have
Hmm.
access to all of our tools in there, our books, our notebook LMs. These things are developing quickly. The notebook LMs are essentially training modules within themselves that help you to dive deeper into each of the journeys and fully understand them. And not only them, but yourself, so that you can start to shift. We got all our videos, documents in there, AI applications that are developed strictly for you to help to grow into the giant you're capable of. And so our goal is transformation and rewriting that narrative. And everything that's been developed is designed to help you do that. And our goal is to make sure that you don't go back to playing small, especially in the areas that no longer serve you. And so if you want details, reach out. Make sure that you contact myself or Ryan about doing one of the SG programs or doing one-on-one coaching with one of us. And we can walk you through that. So how was that for an overview?
Oh, you know what? If there's anybody that could do it, it was you. That's amazing. It's incredible the things that Nick has created, and his mind is just a machine, and his heart is uh, is gigantic. Nick has a gigantic heart, and it shows through his work, through the all the technology and all the things that he does constantly. I don't tell you that enough, brother. How amazing you are, and so if you have a chance, please do reach out because we'd love to help you and be right there as you're walking your giant's journey. So with that, let's learn about this G that's here with us today.
Yeah, with Guru G. So we got a great guest on today. So modern life is burning people out. Anxiety is rising. Stillness is pretty rare. But what if the answer isn't out there? What if it's been within us all along? Our guest today doesn't just talk healing, he lives it. He's a modern mystic, a master healer, the founder of Indimasi, Ayurvedic healing village in India. Through ancient practices like Ayurveda, Siddha, meditation, Kalari, and sacred presence, he's helped thousands shed the weight of burnout and rediscover peace. He doesn't offer band-aids. He offers truth, stillness, and reconnection. This episode will shift how you see stress, healing, and yourself. Massive welcome to Guru Yogi Shivan. Thank you for being here. We will call him Guru G or Shiva as we go throughout. And Guru G, thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about you and how you arrived at being a guru? Can you give us a little bit of your journey?
Yes, of course. Thank you once again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The word meaning guru is guide. That's all. But it has different meanings and depths also. But literal meaning is a simple guide.
Guide. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So for me, like what I have to say, from my childhood, I was a bit curious to know what is behind the scenes. I was a hyperactive child and very curious. I'm from a coastal side, so ocean, backwater, huge lakes. So Kerala is the land of all these things. I used to jump and dive into the depth of the lake. I want to see what is inside. And there are many coconut trees. It's very famous here, like 50, 60 feet high. I just to climb like a squirrel and look from up how things are looking down. So I didn't know why I was doing all these things, but I was curious. Then, because of my hyperactivity, my father, who was an Ayurveda physician, put me into martial arts school. I was a good student. It's called Kalari. You were saying Kalari. Kalari is the traditional martial art from which almost all modern martial arts derived, like Kung Fu, Karate, Aikido, everything evolved from this traditional martial art, which is very close to yoga. Then, after masterizing that, I went to karate. That was the time that the movie came here, Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. So I was fascinated with that. Then I fell into that art. I became a karate black belt holder. Then I used to do dance a lot, Indian classical dance form like Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi. It is meant for ladies, but I didn't know why I was attracted to that. That also I practiced. So I had gone through all kinds of rhythmic but violent, risky actions without knowing what it is. But later I came to know all these violent actions were indirectly guiding me to a perfect silence. I wanted to hear the sound of silence as if I was, just going under the water. There is an extreme silence, but we can hear something.
Mm.
So I was backed into that. Then I was forced to go for the art of listening the silence, the sound of silence. There I became a monk because usually sages are listening their silence, and when we listen the silence adequately, we can see a violence inside. It was a wonderful experience, and as a result of that, I was more curious to know what is beyond the manifested form of matter.
Hmm.
I became a little bit scientific also. Then something is beyond the matter, which is called Mind in Yoga, Energy in Modern Science. So then I went through the traditional practices of that listening the sound of silence. I became a monk. I went to a forest. Around 4.5 years, I stayed there just for finding the secret of my life.
Hmm.
So once I experienced it, I could direct my mind beyond my matter, my body, mind, and something I experienced, which is technically called immortality, though the agelessness, according to modern science. That is the ultimate, aim of yoga in India, which I heard and practiced through all these arts and martial arts. When I experienced it, I came to know the worries, the pains, the complications, everything is actually due to the ignorance of the system. So I wanted to share that wisdom with people. When I came out from the forest and I started living as one among the society, a member of the society, then I established a center called Indimasi. Indimasi is like INDIMASI, means India, traditional Indian wisdom or the soul of India is showing a technique to the whole world to solve all their problems. This is what I am doing now as part of my social responsibility.
So that's your way of giving back, is now that you've navigated this, that's where the guru comes in, right? Is to guide people back
Yes.
to that. Now, in our Western world, we are heavily judged, and we judge ourselves on our performance based on our ideals. We think the world should go a certain way, and when it doesn't, we feel judged by ourselves about how it didn't go that way, and so we feel depression. We start to feel anxiety when we think we're not living up to the societal standards, right? And so how do you see depression, anxiety, heavier emotions like grief, anger? What are those?
See, all these things are as it's coming as a consequence of the hormones produced in the body. Just for example, if you want to be angry, adrenal gland should be active. If somebody says something against me, my mind will judge it, evaluate it, and mind will reach to a conclusion that these words are not good for me, it is irritating me or humiliating me. Based on that conclusion of my mind, adrenal gland will be triggered, then adrenaline is a hormone produced in the body. Once it is mixing up in the blood, liver will recognize it, then my BP will shoot up, I will feel anger. So that is actually anger is the outcome of adrenaline. If that same person is coming next day, holding my hand, saying that, oh Guruji, I was misunderstood, I'm sorry, I didn't know what kind of things are good, many good words are there, and my same conclusion process of the analysis, my neuroplasticity will trigger the pituitary gland to produce endorphins. Then I feel goosebumps and I am happy. So emotions are the production of our own hormones. In yoga, thousands of years ago, it is very clearly stated in Sanskrit language. Pranapaniyur granthi rajabethyabhidiyate. Granthi means gland. Get control over your glands. There are visible and invisible glands in our system. When we get master control over that, emotions will be under our control.
Mm.
The moment we get control over emotions, we will enjoy the real life. Otherwise, we will become the big victim of life. But the moment we get control, we will become the master of life.
Mm.
Life will become a festival. Everything is due to the ignorance, the poor management of our system. That's why Indian tradition is always instructing everybody to look inside, meditation.
Yeah. In our program, the 12 Journeys, that's one thing that we do is we pull science and philosophy and spirituality all into one place because they pull into this inner world. And so our first journey is about the non-conscious and the neuroplasticity and how the brain works and how we create identity and who we think we are and how that feeds into our sensations in the body and how those sensations lead to our actions and our interpretations and judgments. And so what you're talking about here is essentially, in order to change, you have to go in and look at who's doing the thinking, right? How do you change that if that's not serving you anymore? How does a person give that attention to those things that are no longer useful?
See, our mind is creating everything. Nobody knows what the mind is. We know everything about the body. We cannot say we know everything about the body, but to a large extent, we know what the body is. We have dissected body. Even sometimes people were opening the live body to see what is inside. Anyhow, we studied a lot about the material body, but we don't know much about the mind. Even in Google, if you search what is mind, there is no specific explanation about what the mind is. But in traditional science, it is clearly stated, Mano Maya Vidam Sarvam. Your world is created by your own mind. I know I have a body and I have a mind. But where my mind is, I don't know. But when my mind is disturbed, there is a visible change in my body, the difference, the irregularity of my breath and the palpitation. Whenever I am disturbed, the breath will be disturbed and the heartbeat also will be disturbed. So these are the two signs of the link between body and mind. Where our ancient masters observed carefully, they could find a method through which they can capture the mind. That is our breath. If somebody is mentally a little disturbed or anxious or tensed, you can ask that person to breathe, take a deep breath and breathe slowly. After few breaths, that person will be calming down. That shows the breath, the function of lungs can directly influence the mind. So it is the link between the mind and matter. So every function in our system can be controlled by managing the breath, except one thing which is meant for ladies, the menstrual cycle. That cannot be controlled by breath management, but all other body functions can be controlled by managing the breath. This is scientifically proven. So the breath is the link between mind and body. Through that breath management, we can slowly control the mind. The mind cannot be compulsive. It will become conscious. All our functions are really happening. We are not controlling it. The moment we start controlling the mind through the breath management, all emotions will be under our control. This is like a proven fact for thousands of years.
Yeah. So what I hear in that is if you allow your body and your sensations or emotions to run, they're going to create an outcome in your life, right? So, but when you breathe, it pulls back in the mind, or this is what we would call the giant self, right? It will pull that back in where you can actually direct your life, right? Rather than being controlled by the life and being a victim of that life, the breath actually helps you reconnect to the giant, which allows you to direct that life. Is that accurate?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So when rewriting your story, the challenge is as humans, we do feel our sensations. You talk about the glands and how those produce chemicals in the body. And then most of our experience is based on those chemical responses to other people, to situations, to events in our lives. And then we react to that, right?
Yes.
And if we don't slow down and breathe through it, then our body is going to be in control through those experiences, and we're going to tend to do what we've always done. Is that
Yes.
fairly accurate?
Actually, when we lose the control over the body functions, that body functions will start, overpowering us. It will hijack us. This is what's happening. Almost all people are being hijacked by the functions of the body. It became involuntary. Like your heart functions, actually it's involuntary. But if you try hard to focus the mind over there, you can slow down your heart. Then, through rigorous practice, you can even stop the heart. Same way, lungs. Around 13 to 40 times a minute we breathe. But when we practice real pranayama, the breathing exercise, systematically trained by a guru, experienced master, we can slow down it. First attempt, within 1 or 2 weeks, we can breathe one time a minute. Then extend it. One time in 2 minutes. Then one time in 3 minutes. When we go beyond 3 minutes, holding the breath, it's called retention or kumbhak in Sanskrit. You will come to know your mind cannot run here and there. It will be slowly coming back and it will merge into the matter, the body. See, the word meaning yoga is union, merging, connection. The moment we make an effort and we succeed in that effort to make a union between mind and matter, both will lose their identity. Now, it is coming back to even quantum physics. Ancient times, people clearly stated that the moment you get powerful concentration on matter, the structure of the matter will change. Earlier, people didn't believe it, but now quantum physics is declaring that through double slit experiment, when the electrons are sent through a certain passage and they observe the patterns, the moment they observe properly, the pattern is changing. Same way, when we focus the mind and bring it back to the matter, go to the fundamental level, as the concentration increases, the power of concentration increases, the structure of the matter will change. So like a simple example I can give you, hydrogen and oxygen, two gases. And hydrogen is combustible, oxygen is complementing fire. But if we make a union between hydrogen and oxygen, what will happen? Both will lose their identity and water will be evolved from that profound joy. Hydrogen and oxygen were having that, complementing fire, but water has a peculiarity to put off fire. It will gain the opposite quality. Same way, mind is always desirous. It is running after desires, fulfilling desires. Body also supporting the mind to get the things done. They are complementing that fire of desire. But if we make a perfect union, yoga happens, both will lose their identity, and a third reality will be evolved, which is called the awareness of the soul. People say it's spirit, but different meanings are there. But something is there beyond the body and mind, which is having or which is giving you a perfect happiness, stability, strength. I can say it's contentment. So once we reach that level, each and every cell in our system will be under that person's control, because matter is nothing but the manifested form of mind. Once mind and body, matter are under control, The third reality will be with you, and you will say self, the knowledge of the self. That will give us the self confidence. Once somebody is developing that confidence from within, nothing can shake him up. That is what is called the ultimate strength, omnipotence, or whatever it is. Big, big words are used, but it is a perfect understanding and control over our own self. There, we are creating our world, not the world is, directing us. This
Yeah.
is scientifically proven now.
Yeah, I see the connection here that what would be called consciousness or mind or the energy, if we clump those into one group, so consciousness, mind, energy, that it's beyond all of this. It's beyond this, right?
Yes. Yes.
And science still can't explain what consciousness is. It doesn't reside in one place in the body. They really don't have an answer for what consciousness is, right?
Yes.
So if we look at that, that is our power individually to create our identity. And that identity that we create allows us to think, to emote or feel sensations, to act in the world, to transform what is into what we have in mind, right? So we're able to bring anything we want from that mind, that consciousness, into reality. But for many of us, the world has come in and got us into a space of following our desires, which are of the body, right? Our desires of the thought or the mind, and it steals that attention from us. So instead of doing our will, we're doing their will. Am I following here? Like we're reacting to whatever's given to us rather than creating from our own.
Yes, again, it's like when we start thinking of something beyond the mind, again, we are being trapped. If we want to see the reality, we have to go beyond the dimension of mind. That is, subject to practice. It's again like we have a sophisticated robot. The robot can do everything for us, and we depend depending on that robot for everything. Gradually, we lost the control over him. Then what will happen? The robot will drag us here and there without, from our control, and we'll become the victim of or the slave of the robot. Same way, our mind, when we are born, we are, like as a child, everything was a wonder for us. It was a perfect joy, innocence. So child's mind is so clear and it is experiencing a wonder or something which we don't know. As the child grows, the society will give informations. Then the mind will become a computer. Computer, what is computer? We are storing some softwares are installed. Then the computer will work exactly how the software is installed. Same way, the child's mind is completely filled with softwares from environment. What the child saw, what the child heard, what the child smelled, what the child touched. So, like the five senses are taking information, then that child will become a robot. Then everything, that wonder will be converted into rules and regulations of the society. Then slowly we are trapped into that. We will become the victim of the softwares.
The victim or the slave too is another way to put that. We become a slave to that software.
Slave, of course. Yeah, slave of the software.
Yeah.
When we lost the control over the software, then that's why we are anxious, we are stressed, we are fearful because we don't know what the software is or which direction the software is taking us. That is why we become anxious. We don't know what is next. But if we withdraw our senses through proper practice and spend at least 24 minutes a day, this is what now I'm trying my best to initiate people. We have 24 hours a day. Take at least 1 minute from each hour and sit somewhere. Look inside. Learn to withdraw the mind, the senses. and focus within instead of focusing outside. Then we will, as a practice, within few weeks and months, we will come to know the system is slowly getting under our control.
Mm.
How long does it take to be able to figure out how to go into one's self, right? Because like I think about it and I'm like, okay, yeah, a minute a day, that's, or a minute an hour, that's no big deal. But at the same time, I feel like just getting my mind to shut down takes hours at the end of the end of my day. So how can I do that in a minute, an hour? Is there easier ways for somebody to start doing that? Or does that take a long time to master? Does somebody have to go into the forest for 4 years and disappear and become a monk to be able to do this?
No need to do that. When I was trying to get that reality, there was nobody like me to guide me. That's why.
Hmm.
So I went through the traditional method. But right now, I can tell you very clearly, be like a child. Take out the ego and, like prestige and everything for at least 24 minutes. Be honest with ourselves. Go to your privacy. Find a comfortable area in our house. Just be in your own silence. And nobody is there to monitor you. You are just monitoring you. Be like a child. Then how a child will play in the swimming pool? Sometimes child wants to know how long I can hold my breath. He will go under the water and hold the breath. Same way, you sit comfortably on floor, keeping the spine erect, the vertical to ground. Then try to hold your breath as much as possible, as if you are under the water. That's all. Then you observe how far you can go. If you go more than 1.5 minutes, simply filling the lungs and holding, you will come to know the number of thoughts are coming down. Very simple. If I want to reduce this the power of light, I have to go there reduce the control. Just control it, and it will be coming down. If I want to fully off, just disconnect it, switch off it. Same way, mind is functioning only because of your breathing. The moment you start controlling the breath, mind will come under your control. If you succeed in holding the breath, stopping the breath more than 2.5 minutes, mind will be merging into the muscle.
Mm.
According to modern science, if you are not breathing more than 2.5 minutes, your brain will die. Brain death will happen. The breath is blocked for more than 3 minutes, your heart will stop. This is what practically proven. But if you practice properly, even in my case, I experienced more than 5.5 minutes, I can comfortably hold my breath.
Wow.
Even in some African countries, recently I saw one, like documentary. Some tribal guys who can go underwater for more than 4 minutes. They will walk under the water for fishing. Why are they not dying? It's practice.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So I'm thinking of Wolfgang Steiner's show that we did on the breathing, and this ties into that too. And so one thing that you always have with you, right, is the breath.
Breath.
And even in moments, this is where it could be a practice, is to slow down and be with your breath when life is most stressful, when you're anxious or depressed or angry. Even slowing down right there with your breath just for a minute to just notice the breath can pull you back into control, right? So whether you do a segment of 24 minutes every day, or you do a minute with your breath when you're in the emotion, that can start to build that practice, right? It sounds to me like it's practice that is the secret to change.
Of course, it's like any other arts and sports. If you want to be a musician, pianist, of course you have to have some practice. You have to sacrifice few minutes or few hours for your practice. After a few months and years, you will come to know you can play wonderful music. If you want to become a bodybuilder, yes, there is a pattern of practice. You have to sacrifice time for that. Same way, this is a practice for the body and mind. And one more thing, it makes sense also, especially yoga, meditation. People will think that this is little bit religious or pseudoscience or mysterious things. No, don't fall into any one of these things. Just use the logic. When we are anxious or stressed or whatever may be any kind of physical or mental stress comes, your body will become acidic, quite natural. If you go to a doctor, especially a traditional doctor, they will try to bring your acidity down first. It has to be converted into alkaline. They will use the medicines. So if you practice breathing exercise, surprisingly, you will come to know your body will always be alkaline. The acid level will be comfortably managed by breath management. Simple technique.
Yeah.
Everybody can experience it.
I like this. As I look at our 12 journeys and I look at the context of non-consciousness, which is the programming, and waking up to that programming, the journey of awareness is the awareness of that programming and the awareness of our breath. It's awareness of all of it. And then our journey of grief is about the being with the sensations without losing yourself to them, which is this consciousness that you're talking about. And then the journey of acceptance, which is acknowledging what is without losing yourself to it. That journey of acceptance is just giving you room for whatever is happening or whatever has happened. And then you start to, like you say, you start to not only notice your mind and your consciousness, but when we move into the journey of gratitude, you start to notice the enoughness of the world, the abundance of the world, all the things that you get to work with, right? So not only is there an awareness, but there's awareness of what is that you can work with. And then you talk about the breathing as a journey of empowerment. That's a tool of empowerment, which allows you to breathe through and return to that consciousness so that you can change what's not working for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What does that bring up for you? What do you see in that?
See, that's what I'm saying. Our structure, even our DNA, is structured by whom? We don't know. That is why we think, oh, life is mysterious. Our mind cannot understand the fundamental structure of the matter. Now, slowly, modern science is using a word called morphogenesis. From where? Yeah. From energy, how it is being converted into matter.
Yeah, Rupert Sheldrake is one. Rupert Sheldrake talks about morphogenetics.
Yes, it's clearly stating that.
Yeah.
So, in ancient India, the spiritual masters, clearly stated this prana, the gap between, the dimension between the energy and matter. There is no English word for prana. That's why in English also they are using prana. That is the dimension between the energy and matter. So the moment, if you can establish your attention or focus your mind on that dimension, you can restructure even your genes. The genes are slowly framing you to a limited form. Your real state of existence is unlimited energy, infinity. So from infinity, you became a finite being. You know very well that you are not finite. You are infinite energy. That is the real clash. Internally, we know I am everywhere. But externally, you feel that, oh, I am nowhere. This is the problem. The moment we get into this dimension, we can dismantle the DNA level. I'm not exactly using this DNA, but it has no connection with the ancient science. But it is called Anu. Anu means the minutest molecule, the particle from which your forms are created. Your form is created. So if you want to dismantle it, you have to reach to that pranic level. Once you do that, the form, It's called namam in Sanskrit. Name will be, or the form will be taken out. If you are behind the bars, you will feel that, oh, I am, trapped here. You are stressed. But once you become capable of just dismantling the jail and the bars, then you will feel that, oh, I am free because I using my strength. Same way, when we focus our mind within the body, when it goes to the fundamental level, it will demolish the structure of our cells. We will come to know. But the moment we liberate that, when we obliterate that boundary, then we'll feel that, oh, I am the infinity. So everything, knowledge is power. If you think that you are weak and limited, you are limited. If you feel that I am unlimited energy, you are what you know. Very simple. So mind is that I am a giant. Yes.
Wait.
Perfect. Yeah.
I love it.
So this is everything is based on practice.
Yeah.
Nothing is impossible. It's like again very simple example I can give you. Your reality, your real state is infinite energy. In yoga, it's called Brahma. Brahma is boundless. It is infinity. Aham means I. I am Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. This is I. As a child, I used to hear that. Everybody used to say Aham Brahmasmi. I am the infinity. Initially, I used to think that what is the Brahma? But later, I came to know this is our responsibility and our right to understand from where we are evolved, from where we are born, and why we are born, and why we are growing, and why do we die, and what will happen after the death. It is our responsibility to find answers for these fundamental questions. Otherwise, if we are not finding answers for these questions, we will have a life of a slave. The moment we find answer for these questions, we will have the life of the winner. How we can do that? Just focus the mind within the body through the breath management. Slowly you can go deep into the structure of the cells. We can dismantle it. When we get that tuning, it's a tuning between mind and body. It's like a transistor radio. When the transistor radio is there, you tune to a particular broadcasting center, you are connected to that. The radio will give you that sound. You tune to a different broadcasting center, the radio will give a different message or music. Same way, when we tune the inner mind, that mind will connect it to the cosmic vibrations. When we get connected to the cosmic vibrations, we will become one with that. That is what is the real strength, which was hidden, but it is being exposed right now through practice. So everything is within us. You can define your personality as a limited being, or you can define your personality as the infinity. So the choice is left to us. Every individual has that opportunity.
So even within the slavery, let's say this, that even within the system, this is almost like the movie The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
That even within the system, the moment you decide, I'm going to find out where I came from, why I'm here, what my purpose is, where I'm going after. Once you decide that, then you start to take control back from the system to yourself. And now this starts to create in the world. And every one of us has the power to tune in either to society's standards, right? The social programming, or the bigger consciousness of which we're all a part. And the tuning into that is done with the breath as the tuning knob, right? Yes. Is what puts us between those two worlds, helps us to return to our power, is that breath. Is that accurate?
Actually, the link between the molecules. Everything is made of molecules. Okay. And what is the link between the molecules? It's the breath. Actually, now we may think that we have individual breathing, but I can sense that each and every molecule in this nature connected through this invisible thread of breath. When we go beyond the limited, function of our lungs, that is vayu in Sanskrit. Actually, breath is explained in Sanskrit or referred in Sanskrit as prana vayu. It has two levels, but unfortunately, English doesn't have that depth of explanation. Prana is the cosmic energy, vayu is air. So when you breathe in, technically your cosmic energy is connected with you. That's why you are alive. Then to complement that life, oxygen is taken into the lungs. So prana is spreading to the cells, and vayu is being held in the lungs and processed. Oxygen is taken and pumped in the blood, and carbon dioxide is expelled. That is a visible, gross function. But there is an invisible, subtle function is happening through the whole system. That's why prana is the connecting link. So we have to reach to that pranic level. If you go to an Ayurveda center, Indian traditional medical system, that also propagating this strength, prana balam. Balam in Sanskrit, strength. So more than medicine, a traditional doctor will focus on his breath power. See, like we need five types of energy for our survival. We have to eat food. We have to drink water. We have to have heat from the nature. 37.3 degrees centigrade we have to maintain, and we have to breathe, and we should sleep also. But among these five, which one is the most important thing? Without food, we can survive for many days. Without water, we can survive for days. Without heat, even if we are trapped in a cold storage, few hours we will survive. But without breath, how long we will survive?
Few minutes.
Few minutes. So that is the most important energy for the survival. So that is what is called prana. So we should focus on that. We can construct or destroy the things through breath. Your mind, you can develop it through breath management. You can kill your mind through breath management. It's up to you. That is why we have to train ourselves how to manage our breath. And that breath, prana, is cosmically connected. Right now, there is a camera called biophoton camera. Now it's not popular, but medical experts are using it. With that biophoton camera, if we take the photo of two people, that camera can capture the energy exchange between two people. Ancient time, it is very clearly said, Ekam Sat. Don't worry, we all are one. We are intimately connected through a mysterious way of nature. But right now, this is our benefit. This era, modern science is developing, to a certain extent, and machines can make almost everything possible. Earlier, 6,000 years ago, there is a book written in India called Sukta, Purusha Sukta. It is said, Anoraniyan Mahado Mahiya. Anu is modern language, submicroscopic particle or molecule, which cannot be seen through our naked eye. But when it is written 6,000 years ago, who believed it? But people who could go to the depth of their mind, they came to know everything is a dance of molecules. And they formed it as a dancing form of a god. There is a dancing Shiva in India. Actually, that is the rhythmic bombardment of molecules.
Mm.
Right? So people couldn't. It was not generally generalized. But right now, if you take a microscope and look through that, it can multiply a particular thing and make it visible for everybody. Same way, when they explained about this energy exchange, people were giving that, it's like a choice of doubt. But here, right now, through a biophoton camera, you can see even your body and my body, they are exchanging the energy. Technically, in its fundamental level, we all are connected.
Yeah.
Nothing separated. The whole universe is connected through an invisible energy management. There is a fabric. That is what is called prana. That
Mm.
prana, so long as that prana is our individual prana is linking or reacting to the cosmic prana, I am alive. Then only the oxygen is taken inside and carbon dioxide is taken out. The moment I lose that link, my prana with the cosmic energy, I am gone. Even my family will think that okay, now how far we can dispose this matter. They will not call me as a person because that link between the cosmic energy and my individual energy is separate. I mean broken. So the moment we come to know that dimension, we will come, we will be sure that nothing is impossible for me and nothing can stop me because I am beyond the matter. Changes are applicable only in the matter level. Energy level, everything is one.
Mm.
Again, the ancient text is declaring Ekam Sat Vipra Pahuda Vadanti. Fundamentally, energy is one, Ekam, but it is manifesting as countless varieties of the universe. This is what even ultra modern science also declaring the same. E is equal to M. Energy is manifesting as matter.
Mm. Yeah, I hear a lot of Rupert Sheldrake talks about the collective consciousness and
Yes.
morphogeneticism and how his research on animals that when their owners would have the conscious thought of going home, the dog would go to the window and wait for the owner. And they
See,
were
yes,
miles and miles away with no way for that dog to know that they were coming home, but they would measure on camera this dog going to the window.
yes,
And Carl Jung talks about a collective consciousness, that we're all a part of that, and that oxygen, the same oxygen that was breathed by our ancestors never left this earth. It just has been recycled, so we're all connected, and so that ties into the quantum physics of intertanglement or entanglement, right? So that we're all connected. And so
yes.
now it comes down to when you tune into that breath, and the further you get away from that breath, the more you move into the conscious or the cosmic, like you say, the prana.
Yeah.
Uh,
Prana.
and what is it?
Prana.
Prana. Okay, so
Yeah.
you move into that prana. So the longer you move away from that breath, the more you move into prana. But then the shorter that breath cycle is, the more you're in the body, right? So the breath really is the secret to move more towards that prana or that cosmic connection. But we do have to be humans too. So we can't just shut off our breath and return to the non-conscious, right? So there's a practice, like you say, of interacting with our world, but returning to our breath to tune back into our limitless potential. Is that right?
Of course, once these things are explained or understood through the senses, it will be a limited pattern in our mind.
Mm,
The moment we go beyond the patterns, then we will experience something which is beyond the mind.
mm,
That's why we have authentic text on yoga called Ashtanga Yoga, written by sage Patanjali. It is codified around 2300 years ago. Up to that moment, it was verbally conveyed. Then this master started recording it. You know how it starts? Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Now I explain what yoga is. This is how it starts. Second, he writes, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Means, if you want to understand the connection between the universe, the formless and the form, or infinity and the finite, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, you have to obliterate the boundaries of your thoughts. Your mind should be
There is
arrested.
no spoon from the Matrix. You have to obliterate the thought of the spoon. There is no spoon, and boom, then everything bends to infinite possibility.
Yes, so it should be arrested mercilessly. So then he explains the different dimensions. So when mind is not there, how you recognize other things? It's pure experience. It is beyond explanation. That's why in India we have two branches of science: Vedic knowledge and Siddha knowledge. Veda is verbalized knowledge. So I can tell something about my experience, but it is too limited. But I experience something which cannot be explained. Suppose if I say halwa, what do you come to know? What is halwa? You will think, what is it? You don't know. Then I say it is a particular sweet made from wheat flour or rice flour with the jaggery. Then you will make a concept about that in your mind. But if I give you a piece of halwa, traditionally made, you taste it. It's a wonderful taste. But how can you explain, or how can I explain the taste which you are experiencing? I can talk about the ingredients and nothing more. So that limited explanation is called Veda. The other one is Siddha. It's experience. Experiential things cannot be explained. Like our body. Body can be explained to a certain extent. But what is the mind? Mind is an experience. I have the mind, but I don't know how to explain. Same way, if you want to experience the reality, we have to go beyond the limitation or the boundaries of the mind. So there is a book called The Tower of Physics, written by Dr. Fritjof Capra. In that book, he was an atomic scientist. He was clearly writing where the ultra modern science has abruptly stopped. There, the Indian spirituality has got its beginning. Some people technically say, where the science ends, there the religion begins. So, where our consciousness reached to a certain stagnated state, there, created stagnation, there our spiritual experience begins. So where the limit of form ends, there the infinity begins. There is a wonderful story in India because it's very, very difficult to explain. So masters were there to teach people. People like me used to ask hundreds of questions. So they were telling some stories to express the limitation of the explanation of the infinity. There was everything is taught through stories. A wonderful story I will just tell for you. It's a storytelling even for our children, we can share with them. There was a society made of dolls once upon a time. Dolls made of salt. Okay. So one day a merchant doll made of salt came to know, I had enough money. I had lived enough. So now I want to know from where I am evolved. So that books are saying, or religion taught me that I am from the ocean. The salt is made from ocean. So this guy decided to search for his reality or the origin. So he left everything behind. He became a renounced person. He gave up everything and he wore his saffron. He became a monk. Instead of going to the forest, he went to the seashore in search of ocean. When he reached there, he saw the infinite ocean. He said, oh, fantastic. Masters are correct. I am from this infinite ocean. Now I want to know how deep it is. and from where I evolved, where is my real origin? I want to know. So he left all his belongings there and he jumped into the ocean. So he dived down into the ocean slowly, slowly, slowly. He came to know he was looking here and there. His identity was slowly losing because he is made of salt. Gradually, he dissolved himself into the ocean. Then he was looking here and there. He lost all his identity. Then what remained? Only ocean remained. This is how a seeker is experiencing. We start from our body, then we say, mind, I have this, then all informations. When we start diving to our inner depth, go deep and deep and deep, we will come to know our the forms which installed through the senses or by the society is slowly dissolving, dissolving. Then one day we will come to know I don't have a body, but I am the universe, or I am the in. So this is how masters are explaining. But yes, modern science can explain through a reductionist way. It is the science of matter. But beyond matter, there is a reality which should be experienced through daily practice.
I like that. Well, we're kind of at time here. That was a beautiful story, and that really took it down. When you dive in, you don't narrow in like this. You narrow in like this. Like you find that you're a part of everything, and really this identity that you had is at this pinpoint of all this stuff that came together for you to be you the way you think you're you. But when you really dive into it, you find out you're part of the expanse, right? It really opens you up to change everything. That's beautiful. Yes. Ryan, what are you realizing as you're listening in, man?
I have a lot. I took a lot of notes as I was sitting here listening to one of the greatest G's that I've ever heard in my life. I sat here thinking about the things that I believe that I am, and even in that, I'm boxing myself in inside of that. And I think that's part of what you're getting at is there's a lot of great things to think about yourself, and that's awesome. Like wearing a shirt that says "I am a giant" and I am the ultimate giant, and I am this and I am that. Those are great statements, but really, you're infinite. You're much more than that. The words couldn't even can't even be described of who you really are, and tuning into that is what you're talking about. Is really tuning into that. And starting to understand or get a fraction of the understanding by doing that. I don't know if we'll ever fully get there. I don't know, but I want to try. I want to find out. And yeah,
right. Yes.
Yeah, and it's fun to see from our side of the fence where the 12 journeys that we have created and that we've organized, I guess, is pretty more what it is, because I don't know that we really created it. We organized the 12 journeys, how all of this stuff fits in, and where you can place breath work and really diving in. Um, it's pretty exciting stuff, to know your limitless potential, and to really start to discover it again, because you knew it at one point in time, and all of the layers of society have been placed upon you, and now you get to go through the journey of peeling back those and discovering yourself, and that it's really I think some people think it's some sort of sad or hard or scary journey, when really it should be just like what you're doing right now. Guru is sitting there and smiling at the possibility of who you really are. So it brings tears to my eyes just to think about the possibility of who is Ryan Morris, who is Nick Smith, really. And that's the journey. That's the excitement behind it all. So thank you so much for enlightening us today and being with us and sharing in your energy. I feel it. I feel it. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to tell something as a conclusion,
Yes.
if you want to go beyond your limitations, find your own inner strength. There, nothing can stop you because the infinite potential or the potential of the infinity is lying within us. Just spend 24 minutes a day for ourselves. Then we will learn to smile from the heart.
Yeah, beautiful. I think this is such a great message because it just really just pulls in how infinite we are and how much we narrow ourselves down to expectations, our own and societal expectations, family expectations, cultural, religious. That's part of the slavery that you're talking about. And when we really slow down with that breath, just 24 minutes a day, just really slow down with that, you start to realize and undo all this stuff that made you who you are that no longer serves you. And now the power of that is now you can redirect it and remold it into whatever you want. And
Yes.
I think that's a beautiful thing. So to us, that's the giant's journey, is doing that. Is when we talk about the 12 journeys, that is what the 12 journeys are. And you've given us another piece to those 12 journeys in the breath work and the realizing how infinite we are. And so thank you for doing that. Let me make sure there's nothing that I've yeah, Ryan, just a final thought here said, the belief systems, right? Townsend Wardlaw, one of our mentors, said that the moment you believe a belief, it becomes limiting by the nature of believing it. And so you box in the universe and say, that's it. And what you've given us today is the ability to shatter our belief systems to really open up to everything as a possibility, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Belief is good till we experience.
Yeah. I love it. For those that are watching, thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here. You likely know somebody that could use this message today in their life. I'm thinking of a few people right now that could benefit from this message. Share it with them. It's live on YouTube. You can grab the link and share it there. Make sure that you go over to Guru G's site at indimasi.com and check out his work and reach out to him. And we're grateful for everything you do for us. Go make it a giant day, and we will see you in the next video.
Love you too.
Yes.